Hello everyone, welcome back to Sports Covery and Curious Harry. Well, this ISL just continues to give and give. A two-all draw was a thriller. I mean, of course, Odisha were 2-0 up. Looked like it was going to be yet another frustrating game for Mohun Bagan against Odisha after that AFC Cup loss, but it wasn't to be. The Kolkata Giants sort of stood up, fought back. Two goals for Armando Sadiku. Important goals for him has sort of kickstarted his Indian journey finally. Hiren, talk me through the game. How are you feeling?
What a game! मतलब hello to everyone first of all, and a beautiful game by full on entertainment पैसा वसूल game. I think this game has everything. मतलब beautiful quality goals, fights, referee decision, and some injuries. So it's a you can say कि सभी कुछ इसमें इसमें हमें देखने को मिला. And I think deserving draw मेरे हिसाब से. कुछ यहाँ पे हम आगे भी बात करेंगे कुछ डिसीजन के बारे में, लेकिन both the team fought well. एंड जिस तरह से अहमद जाऊ का परफॉर्मेंस, अरमांदो सादिकू बोथ प्लेड ब्यूटीफुल गेम. एंड जबरदस्त परफॉर्मेंस दोनों की ओर से. कियान नसीरी का वो बेहतरीन यहाँ पे क्रॉस. आई थिंक दैट शोज कि वो बंदे की क्या मेंटालिटी और क्या किस तरह का उसका डिसीजन मेकिंग है, क्योंकि आप देखिए जैसे ही उन्होंने वॉली पे लिया उसके पास टाइम था कि वो एक टच लेके यहाँ पे क्रॉस डाल सकता था, लेकिन उसने सीधा ही वहां पे क्रॉस डाला. एंड अरमांदो सादिकू ब्यूटीफुल इन बिहाइंड रन. एंड व्हाट अ फिनिश इन द फर्स्ट गोल. सेकंड गोल ऑल्सो भी देखे आप, जिस तरह से दोनों गोल में अगर आप देखेंगे तो हेक्टर उत्से का भी इन्वॉल्वमेंट है, उसको भी हमें भूलना नहीं चाहिए. आई थिंक उसने भी जिस तरह से यहाँ पे दोनों गोल में कंट्रीब्यूशन रहा है. सो आई थिंक जबरदस्त गोल दोनों. एंड अगर हम ओडिशा एफसी की बात करें तो अहमद जाऊ का वो मैं दूसरा गोल मानूंगा. आई वुड से दैट वुड बी अ फाउल. आई थिंक जो सहल अब्दुल समद के ऊपर हुआ, आई थिंक दैट शुड बी अ डिसअलाउड गोल मेरे हिसाब से. अगर वीआर होता तो आई थिंक डिसीजन चेंज होता, क्योंकि पहले आप टैकल कर चुके थे सहल अब्दुल समद को, and उसके बाद आपने बॉल को टच किया है. सो बट आई थिंक फुल ऑन एंटरटेनिंग गेम, मजा आ गया. मतलब आई थिंक
Fair enough.
सुपर सुपर गेम. एंड जो प्रिडिक्शन भी था हमारा सही रहा कि 2-2 ड्रॉ. एंड यही एक्सपेक्टेशन भी थी कि एक क्लोज गेम यहाँ पे होने वाला था, एंड वही चीज हुई, तो मजा आ गया.
Yeah, yeah. Hello everyone in the chat. Already a few comments coming in. Um, yeah, it was another cracker jacker of a game. Lord Mac is saying they were lucky to get a draw. Mohun Bagan, you thought? Did you think they were deserving here?
आई थिंक दे शुड बी विनिंग दिस मैच. आई थिंक जिस तरह
Okay.
से सेकंड हाफ में और कुछ डिसीजन जो उनके अगेंस्ट गए, आई थिंक वो जेसन क्यूमिंग्स वाला पेनल्टी भी था. आई थिंक दैट शुड बी अ
Mhm.
पेनल्टी. जो टेकल फ्रॉम बिहाइंड था अहमद जाऊ का, जैसे वो फर्स्ट पेनल्टी उनको मिला उसके तुरंत बाद वो एक्शन हुआ था. सो मेरे हिसाब से तो मतलब मैं बोलूंगा कि जो रिजल्ट है वो फेयर रिजल्ट है. 2-2 इज अ फेयर रिजल्ट. विशाल केत का आप एंड में देखिए वो प्रांजल का जो शॉट था, एंड बेहतरीन सेव उन्होंने जो किया. अदरवाइज गेम वहीं पे फिनिश हो जाता, 3-1 हो जाता है. मगर का जो मोरल है वो भी वहां पे डाउन हो सकता था. सो आई थिंक इट्स अ फेयर रिजल्ट. 2-2 ड्रॉ इज अ फेयर रिजल्ट फॉर मी इन दिस मैच.
Yeah, a couple of fights breaking out towards the end of the game as well. I don't know if you guys caught it. Looked like Sergio Lobera was also involved. I'm not sure what exactly happened, but hopefully we'll get some clarity on that. For neutral, absolutely a great game to watch. Two all draws, sort of back and forth games are the best to watch, and uh, completely agree, Hiral. Um, so on Sahal, Hiren, of course, there's a national team angle that we're looking at. Hopeful?
कोई
Are
बोल
you
रहा है कि
hopeful?
टू रेड कार्ड दिए गए क्या एंड में. बॉय
Red
बोल
card
रहे 2 रेड कार्ड्स.
should have been two red cards, or
क्या तो मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ कि एट द एंड ऑफ द डे मैच किसी को दिया गया है क्या,
oh
वही
really?
देखना
Okay.
रहेगा.
No, I don't see anything yet. Not sure. Not sure.
नॉट
Okay.
श्योर. ओके.
Yeah. Sahal's injury. Exactly. That's what I was asking Hiren as well. Hiren, are you hopeful for him to return?
लेट्स वेट फॉर दी टुमारो. आई थिंक कल यहाँ पे स्कैन बैन होंगे, उसके बाद ही पता चलेगा कि कितना एक्सटेंड ऑफ इंजरी है, सीरियस इंजरी है. एंड उसके बाद ही पता चलेगा कितने टाइम के लिए बाहर है. ना कि सिर्फ सहल अब्दुल समद, अनिरुद्ध थापा को भी यहाँ पे हाथ क्या बोलते हैं हैंड इंजरी हुआ है. सो उसका भी देखना रहेगा कि कितने टाइम के लिए वो बाहर है. सो दिस इज अ बिग बिग ब्लो फॉर नेशनल टीम कि टू और आई थिंक क्रूशियल मिडफील्डर are going to be in you can say कि doubtful for the एशियन कप. सो लेट होप सो कि यहाँ पे सहल का तो मेरे को ज्यादा डाउटफुल लग रहा है. एंड अगर क्या बोलते हैं कि थापा का भी अगर फ्रैक्चर हुआ देन ही आल्सो गोइंग टू मिस द एशियन कप, दैट्स फॉर श्योर. So
Yeah.
big blow for India and also for Mohan Bagan also. अब देखिए मैच स्टार्ट होने से पहले आपका ट्रेनिंग सेशन में आपका ह्यूगो बोमो का इंजर्ड होना, ऑलरेडी आपके पेत्रादोस, मनवीर, आसिफ कुरुनियान इंजर्ड है, अनवर अली इंजर्ड है, अब आपके दो तीन प्लेयर ग्लान मार्टिन्स भी एज ए सब्स्टिट्यूशन आए और उसके बाद भी वो इंजर्ड हो गए, और आपके तीन, तो आप देखिए ऑलमोस्ट आपकी जो स्टार्टिंग 11 के 5-6 प्लेयर है वो यहाँ पे मोहन बगान के इंजर्ड थे, एंड उसके बावजूद भी जिस तरह से उनकी सेकंड हाफ में परफॉर्मेंस आई, दैट्स अ कमेंडेबल जॉब फ्रॉम दी मोहन बगान एंड देयर प्लेयर्स मेंटालिटी। आई थिंक दैट्स यहाँ पे क्या बोलते हैं कि तारीफ करना बनता है, क्योंकि इतने सारे प्लेयर इंजर्ड हो गए और उसके बाद भी जिस तरह से उन्होंने सेकंड हाफ में परफॉर्मेंस दी, आई थिंक कमेंडेबल जॉब, एंड definitely it's going to be really difficult for India now. Their two crucial midfielder has been very doubtful to get into the SL.
Yeah. Hi, Arnava. Like Hiren just mentioned, I think, of course, to understand the extent of these injuries, we'll probably have to wait till tomorrow because most times, I think coaches just come out and say, you know what, we'll have to go through the scans. We'll have to wait anyways. So hopefully, once the medical team is on it and we have some information, there'll be reports and we'll understand the extent of these injuries. Arnava, on the game, um, Thriller, and do you think Mohun Bagan in the end deserved a point from this game?
Good evening, everyone. I just wanted to remind, what did I say? What result will happen today?
Yeah. To all, I think somebody in the chat also mentioned if you was
No,
spot on.
jokes apart. I think interesting game. And again, you see the class of an Ahmed Jahu, and you then realize when Ahmed Jahu walks off, what an influence it has on the field. Armando Sadiku, very heavily criticized, scores two good goals, missed an easy one early, just before he scored the first one.
But that was offside. That was offside.
Yeah, but it wasn't
The
given,
strike.
right? Was it given? No, no.
दिया नहीं गया था. It was
So,
not given, so it would be
so that's
counted.
it would be counted. We don't have VR. So from that side, I would say that from two goals down and just listening the last 2 seconds to you guys, of course, the number of injuries, which is worrying not only for I think Juan Ferrando, but more even for Igor Stimac, because there are multiple national team players. So therefore, it's commendable that they've come back. But I think Odisha, in the end, did not finish off the job. I think if you, towards the end, have Roy Krishna and Diego Mauricio on the field, you just need to get the ball properly to those guys, and somehow they'll score. But in my opinion, in the end, deserving draw, because I think Odisha didn't do enough in the last 10-15 minutes to ensure their win. I think that's their fault.
Yeah. Fair enough. Just quick stat update. I mean, this is what the game looked like from a stats perspective. Mohun Bagan had just slightly edged possession, 53 to 47. They managed 7 shots compared to Odisha's 11. Odisha had one more on target, 4 compared to 3. So stats wise, of course, Odisha had more attempts. Hiren said, looking at the second half, probably Mohun Bagan should have gone on to win that. Now that it is a draw, how are fans going to react to this? Because there's a psychological perspective that you were 2-0 down and you came back and sort of clinched a draw. But if they were sort of 2-0 up and they had conceded 2 goals and gotten this result, how do you think the fans would have reacted? Do we have to still just take it as a 2-all draw and it's not a win in the end?
नहीं, आई थिंक फैंस शुड बी हैप्पी विद दिस रिजल्ट, बिकॉज आपके इतने सारे फैंस मतलब होने चाहिए, नहीं होंगे सर, ये मेरे को भी पता है, लेकिन होने चाहिए, क्योंकि मतलब ये किसी भी टीम के लिए या फिर किसी भी कोच के लिए बढ़िया बात होगी, आपके इतने सारे प्लेयर इंजर्ड है, ह्यूगो बुमो का जैसे मैंने अभी बोला कि आपका कल ही ट्रेनिंग में इंजर्ड हुआ है, आपका सडनली प्लान चेंज हुआ, और आपके जो भी बेंच वाले प्लेयर थे स्टेप अप किया, और पर्टिकुलरली सेकंड हाफ की मैं इसीलिए मैं बोल रहा हूँ बार बार कि सेकंड हाफ में जिस तरह से उनके जो भी प्लेयर यहाँ पे एज ए सब्स्टिट्यूशन आए थापा सहल के, और उन्होंने जिस तरह से परफॉर्मेंस दी, और आप देखिए कि एज ए टीम यहाँ पे आप देखिए कोई भी टीम 2-0 से डाउन है और वहां से कमबैक करना, इट इज नेवर बीन इजी थिंग, एंड यहाँ पे मेंटालिटी दिखी प्लेयरों की ओर से, एंड एक वो एक जैसे ही वो पहला गोल है उसके बाद आप देखिए कि टीम में वो एक क्या बोलते हैं कॉन्फिडेंस भी काफी ज्यादा हुआ, तो आई थिंक मेरे हिसाब से तो फैंस मतलब ये तो फिर ओवर क्रिटिसाइज करना या फिर आपकी मतलब क्या बोलते हैं कि वही हो जाएगा, मतलब इट्स अ गुड रिजल्ट, आपने 2-2 ड्रॉ निकाला इन सच अ टफ सिचुएशन, सो लेट्स सी, बट वी ऑल नो कि मोहन बगान फैंस विल बी डेफिनेटली नॉट हैप्पी, बिकॉज जो विनिंग रन है वो फाइनली ड्रॉ के साथ यहाँ पे वो जो 5 आउट ऑफ 5 विन था वो 6 आउट ऑफ 6 नहीं हो पाया, तो डेफिनेटली उनको वो ज्यादा दिखेगा रादर देन कि भाई किस तरह से कमबैक किया।
Otherwise, is this the best time to catch Mohun Bagan, given the problems that they're having?
I think the one issue is I think that the whole Juan Fernando situation where the management is standing by the coach, but everybody else seems to be against him. The media is against him. The ex-players in Kolkata are against him. The large base of the fan, of the fan base is against the coach. That's one. The bigger worry I feel is the number of injuries you could have picked up in this game. And you that's already been a problem in the last few weeks. Yeah, you lost Anwar Ali, you lost Timi Petratos, Hugo Bumus was lost before this game. Today you lost maybe 3 midfielders, right? In Sahal, Anirudh Thapa, and Glenn Martins. And potentially 2 certain national team players and 1 could be getting in if the others are injured. And it was, it's a tricky one, right? And that makes it difficult for Mohun Bagan. They of course still have the match against Mazia to play next Monday in the AFC Cup. Again, if Juan Fernando is smart, I guess he will most probably field a B-string team now to avoid more injuries. But overall, it's a difficult scenario for Mohun Bagan going forward. I think with if those many players get injured, because you might be down 6, 7, 8 players after this game who are injured, who are certain first team players.
Yeah.
चैट में काफी सारे लोग राहुल मेंशन कर रहे हैं रिगार्डिंग द पोस्ट मैच फाइट बिटवीन जुआन फर्नांडो एंड आई थिंक रोय कृष्णा, एंड जुआन फर्नांडो एंड डिएगो मरिशो, इन दोनों को रेड कार्ड दिखाया गया है. सो दैट्स आल्सो really a talking point. I think when Crystal John is there, then definitely there will be a lot of fireworks. वो मैच में भी दिखा हमें थ्रू आउट द मैच जिस तरह से मतलब, और जिस तरह से दोनों कोच के साथ, आई थिंक सर्जियो लोबेरा के साथ भी उनका वहां पे थोड़ा सा हुआ था साइड लाइन पे, एंड जॉन फर्नांडो के साथ, एंड आफ्टर द मैच भी यहाँ पे जिस तरह, आई थिंक ये मैच मैंने बोला ना कि पूरा एक क्या बोलते कि वो जो 5-2 का जो सारा सिनारियो था, उसके बाद मतलब भले ही कल जॉन फर्नांडो ने बोला हो कि हम रिवेंज नहीं देख रहे हैं, लेकिन सभी के मन में वो एक बड़ास्तु थी, और आई थिंक दोनों तरफ से वो दिखी आज. तो प्रॉपर एक क्या बोलते कि वो फाइटिंग स्पिरिट वाला मैच हमें देखने को मिला है, जो कि जनरली इतना ज्यादा मतलब नहीं देखने को मिलता हमें आईएसएल में.
Yeah. Like Hiren just mentioned, a lot of people mentioning that last sort of scuffle that happened, and now it's showing up. Maurizio, of course, picked up a red card from the players. Anava Sadiku has arrived. Has he arrived finally in India?
I liked his intensity today. I liked, he was urging on his teammates. It was, again, guys, I know Lord Bakehill likes to call people frauds and lords and whatever, so I'm not going to enter that discussion. But Sadiku and Cummings are class players, period. Why they're not coping up with this, different question. But I think Sadiku today was crucial, because I think without him, Mohun Bagan wouldn't have got the points. I think that was also very important. And another aspect we've not spoken about, I felt Kian Nasiri. Right?
Yeah.
हमने बात की आपसे पहले.
अच्छा, sorry. So I missed that.
नहीं, continue. आप अपना point रखिए.
So and I've been saying this for a while, that Kian needs game time. This is the opportunity. Kian needs to grab this opportunity. He needs to play as much as possible. I hope this boy shows what he's made of. He has a lot of talent, a lot of potential. I hope Kian shows that week in, week out now. And therefore, I hope he is able to do that, because these are the kind of players we want to see, not only in a Mohun Bagan shirt, but potentially in the future in an India shirt as well. And that's why his alertness. The other day, the goal for Mohun Bagan against Odisha in the AFC Cup as well. Today, the alertness. the runs. Kian has something which I like, his style. He's got flair to him. Yeah, he is the package. But I hope um, that he gets game time. He grows in confidence, and then hopefully sooner or later we'll see him in the under 23s, or even maybe in the national team.
Yeah, yeah,
दूसरा एक राहुल, मैं सॉरी टू
yeah.
इंटरप्ट, बट एक दूसरा प्लेयर की बात करना चाहूंगा जो आज मेरे को डिसअपॉइंट किया, एंड दैट्स लिस्टन कोलासो. एंड दिस इज द प्रॉब्लम विथ लिस्टन कोलासो कि टू मच इनकंसिस्टेंसी. मतलब कोई मैच आपको लगेगा कि इतना बढ़िया प्लेयर है, और कोई मैच लगेगा कि आप भाई इसको क्यों खिला रहे हैं. एंड टुडे दैट वाज द मैच. मतलब जिस तरह से वो कॉर्नर दिया, जिस तरह से उसको मतलब चांसेस आप देखिए पूरा आपने बिल्डअप कर लिया, और लास्ट में जिस तरह से उसका डिसीजन मेकिंग था, या फिर जितना सिली तरीके से उन्होंने बॉल लूज किया. really poor performance from the Western Colasso, because आपके जब इतने crucial player front line में नहीं है और इंजर्ड हो रहे हैं, then you need to step up. अब ये टाइम नहीं है कि आप हर वक्त सीखते रहोगे. कभी भी आपको रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लेनी पड़ेगी. एंड जो कियान नसीरी की सर ने बात की, कंप्लीटली एग्री कि कियान नसीरी ने जब भी उसको मौका मिला है, उन्होंने अपना जो क्या बोलते कि स्किल सेट है, या फिर अपने जो वो है, वो दिखाया है कि भाई क्यों मेरे को टीम में होना चाहिए. आई थिंक ही डिजर्व टू बी मोर चांसेस देन लिस्टन कोलासो. आई थिंक आपको उसको ज्यादा टाइम देना ही पड़ेगा. आप जिस तरह की उसकी वो फर्स्ट गोल में आप देखिए एलर्टनेस थी, जिस तरह से रन बनाया, जिस तरह से क्रॉस डाला, दैट वाज अ ब्यूटीफुल थिंग. भाई हम जनरली इंडियन प्लेयर के साथ इतना ज्यादा वो क्या बोलते कि वो नहीं देखते स्मार्टनेस इन दी फाइनल थर्ड, एंड वो बंदे ने वहां पे दिखाई है. जनरली क्या होता है कि वो पहला टच लेता, बॉल को कंट्रोल करता, और बाद में वो क्या बोलते कि क्रॉस डालता. दिस बॉय डायरेक्टली उन्होंने क्रॉस डाल दिया. एंड लिस्टन कोलासो आप देखिए कि जिस तरह से वो कॉर्नर भी आप मतलब क्या बोले अब. तो आई थिंक ही नीड्स टू be more consistent, जो हमेशा से उसके साथ एक प्रॉब्लम रहा है.
And also with Kian, again, I go back to own experiences with the boy, is that of course he has that Kolkata Maidan five-a-side, thingy, having played at Parsi Club, at CCFC, and five-a-side winter tournaments and all that stuff. So you see the twists and turns. He is comfortable, is technically good. These are the kind of players, and with Liston, I thought earlier this season, okay, Liston is getting better and getting consistent, but today it was like last season where you thought please take him off in his own interest. At some stage
Exactly.
It was so bad today. That corner you were talking about, Hiren, and think about it, and you're 1-2 behind. I said, just get the corner in. Why are you trying fancy stuff? Just get it into the box. Someone or the other will do something with it, like Rahul's Arsenal last night. So
I love it. Let's not go there.
Yeah, I feel very sad for Luton Town, but anyway, that's a different discussion. They deserved something after that fight, but this is something, again, we come back. Mohun Bagan in the end deserved a point. They deserved a point, which Odisha threw away. And that's something. And you realized again today that a Lobera team cannot defend.
Exactly.
They'll go, that's something that Sergio, I think, at some stage needs to understand. Said you're leading 2-1. This 2-1 takes you quite a way up in not only the playoffs, but potentially the fight for the title. And but they still are, the lines are too far apart. Putia was again standout player. I think someone weirdly also not looked at by the national coach. So therefore, a lot of interesting things around this match. And someone, I think, mentioned this to becoming an Indian El Clasico. I don't know if it's going to become an Indian El Clasico, but I think it'll be another one of those heated encounters of
exactly.
the Indian Super League, like BFC Blasters, that sort of thingy. Mumbai, Goa, therefore, again, we have a number of these interesting matches, and it's good for the league to have these kind of matches, insightful matches.
Guys, again, like a lot of people are asking whether the second goal was offside. Lord Becky, did you guys have another look at it?
I don't think so. मैंने I think वो एंगल दिखाया नहीं है उन लोगों ने. दिखाया था क्या? रिप्ले में भी फ्रंट एंगल ही दिखा रहा है.
I have not seen it. So therefore I can't comment.
But anyway, there were a couple of controversial decisions by the referees. So let's not talk about the referees, because फिर तो मतलब let's keep aside.
Yeah, let's keep that
That
completely.
happens. It happens, but again, it's also players and coaches towards the end. Um, Juan Fernando is someone who is very, agitative on the sidelines. Yesterday also said a few things or hinted at a few things regarding Roy Krishna, where I think, that boiled over in the end in some sort of way. And yeah, is
बट
sometimes it's part
आप
of
सर
life.
आप अगर आप नहीं नहीं, आप पूरा मैच ही आप देखिए जिस तरह से, मतलब ये एक दो प्लेयर की बात नहीं है, आप कोई भी प्लेयर उठा के देख लीजिए, वो आई थिंक पुतिया था या फिर जेरी था जिसको मतलब सहल ने वो किया, और उसका जिस तरह से रिएक्शन था, या फिर मतलब थ्रू दी मैच ही ऐसा चला है कि दोनों ही टीम मतलब क्या बोलती कि वो एल क्लासिको जैसे किसी ने बोला कि वो मतलब एक दोनों के लिए वो क्या बोलते कि अ, मारने वाली सिचुएशन है, तो दोनों ही तरफ से वो एक क्या बोलते कि एक गुस्सा वाला या फिर वो एक अंदर से ही था, तो डेफिनेटली, और आई थिंक वन ऑफ द मोस्ट एंटरटेनिंग मैच टिल नाउ इन दिस सीजन फॉर मी.
Yeah.
And interesting, I think we've said it in the past. Odisha has been part of those entertaining matches, right? Against Goa, in Goa, that Jay Gupta goal, Mumbai
मुंबई
City
सिटी
against them,
2-2.
So Odisha, and it's Sergio Lobera, right? Sergio Lobera likes to play attacking football. He doesn't want to defend. Sergio Lobera, I think he said once, "I'd rather win 5-4 than win 1-0. Who wants to win 1-0?" So you saw it, and therefore, yeah, it's an interesting one. And again, this match now has fire in itself, just because of, not only because of the AFC Cup, but also because of the cross connections of players and all that stuff. But yeah, it's good good game to watch overall, because it had that excitement. But for Odisha, I think it's a huge chance lost to beat depleted Mohun Bagan. I think in the end, I think that for me is the summary, and therefore Mohun Bagan, all the credit goes to them to get a point in this game.
Yeah. Now just 2 points separating these two clubs. Odisha are fourth, Mohun Bagan third, but of course Mohun Bagan have played 2 games fewer. It's going to be interesting now because Mohun Bagan next test for them is Northeast, guys. Kiran,
नॉर्थ
what do you
ईस्ट.
expect? Because now with this depleted squad, Northeast on their day can have proven to be threatening. How do you see Mohun Bagan season going from here because of the sort of depleted squad they have?
उससे पहले कोई पूछ रहा है कि क्या यहाँ पे सहल अब्दुल समद इंजर्ड है, तो भाई 3 प्लेयर मोहन बगान के इंजर्ड हो चुके हैं, सहल अब्दुल
Yeah.
समद, अनिरुद्ध थापा एंड ग्लान मार्टिन्स, एंड ओडिशा एफसी की ओर से यहाँ पे क्या बोलते कि अपना अहमद चाऊ. सो ये 4 प्लेयर यहाँ पे इंजर्ड हुए हैं. एंड आपने जैसे बोला नेक्स्ट मैच इज नॉर्थ ईस्ट, उसके बाद आई थिंक मुंबई सिटी है एंड देन एफसी गोवा. So this is going to be really exciting month for the John Fernando's future at yeah, you can say कि मोहन बगान, and crucial matches.
But his
But
future,
I think
greatly, Hiren, future to already
Mhm.
over here, because he said in the 5 matches in December he will get 5 wins. So
Oh,
statistically, that cannot happen anymore, na? So whatever he's claimed
anymore
to the management is not no longer possible.
possible. But I think जो सिचुएशन में है आफ्टर दिस मैच, मतलब आप देखिए आपके कितने फर्स्ट टीम के प्लेयर, आई थिंक 5 or 6 फर्स्ट टीम प्लेयर्स आर नॉट अवेलेबल, एंड स्टिल मतलब मोहन बगान इज आई थिंक जिस तरह की उनके पास बेंच स्ट्रेंथ है और जिस तरह के प्लेयर है, आई थिंक दे ओनली कैन मैनेज टू बी, मतलब क्या बोलते कि
See, and
वो
that they
पुल
don't
ऑफ
have. Look at who was sitting on the bench in the end. It was their CFL team which was literally sitting on the
टीम
bench. So we've
बेंच.
been saying, again, Mohun Bagan, if again, Barrison has pointed out, it's not 5 or 6, it's 8 players, right? He's saying Anwar, Ashik, Manvir, Petratos, Bumus, Thapa, Sahal, Glan, right? That's
that's not
8.
crazy.
That is nearly a full team, right? And these
फुल
are
टीम.
all starters. Again, maybe Glenn not, but the rest are all starters for the team. So from that perspective, if players join Ashik and Anwar on the long time list, that's a problem. I think Manvir most probably will be back. Petratos should also hopefully be back, but otherwise, that's a tough one, because Thapa didn't look good. There might be a broken arm in there. Sahal didn't look too good, and Glenn looked really bad. That turn from Diego Mauricio, and Diego Mauricio literally fell. He had his leg bend in a little bit, and Diego Mauricio fell on his leg. So I hope he's not torn any ligaments in his knee. That didn't look too
Yeah.
good with Glenn. So therefore, Sahal similar with that Ahmad Jahu thingy, which um, yeah, it's
दैट लुक्स वेरी बैड टू जो जो पीछे वाला पैर था उसमें जिस तरह से वो मतलब क्या बोलते कि अहमद जाऊ का जो टैकल था.
yeah, but was it a tackle? I mean, the point is, and this is an interesting one. Depending on where your referee is, in certain places it will be given because they say dangerous play. In other places, let's say in the old Premier League, they would have never given a foul on this instance. So that's also a thing, because there's no one standard on these kind of fouls. Because to me, I would have said it was too rash. I think I felt it was a foul.
It was a foul because टैकल पहले हुआ था और बॉल उसने बाद में किया. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Parmesh was asking why did Diego Mauricio get a red card again? I'm not sure, but I think it's because he was involved in the fight towards the end. There's a lot of players there. Not confirming this again. Looks
See,
like
Barrison trying to point out that it was deliberately pulling down Glenn. No, he was just turning. Again, and he's trying to shield the ball and trying to get away from the defensive player. So, in my opinion, I wouldn't say that's any malice or intention that happens in the play. And Diego Mauricio, with his body, I mean, that body is, a lot of muscle, a lot of
Heavy.
weight. So sorry, Glenn Martin is not going to be able to cope, and that's the thing, no? And that's why we are seeing it again and again. Those players who are experienced, understand Indian conditions, understand the ISL, they seem to be doing better this season. A lot of them, right? Especially amongst the foreigners who've been here for a long time.
yeah.
दूसरे एक प्लेयर की बात हमने नहीं की. सुभाशिष बोस. I think poor game from him today.
Very, very poor. I mean, if
Very
if
poor.
we think back a few days ago, how he was against Qatar, which was one of his best games for India,
Best game.
and then we again talk about this consistency. We are talking about Liston Kolas, and that is our biggest problem, right? One day good, next day you don't know where the player is.
Yeah. Consistency. I mean, isn't that the case with most players? That's the problem, right? And we've got
Yes,
what, a couple, three players, I think, who can play consistently. And yeah, well, that's the case, I guess. But yeah, moving away from Mohun Bagan, next up for Odisha is Hyderabad. 3 points for them there. You guys see 3 points there?
Yeah.
I think without Ahmed Chau, will be really interesting to see now how they are going to, particularly their midfield, how they are going to play. Because जिस तरह का इन्फ्लुएंस अहमद जाऊ का है, मतलब आपका डिएगो मोरिशियो होने के बावजूद भी अगर आपका पेनल्टी टेकर अहमद जाऊ है, that shows कि he is the main man in the Sergio Leberas team. And I think उसके अराउंड ही टीम पूरी, अब देखिए मूवमेंट भी होता है, सारी चीजें होती है. So that will be interesting battle to see. But I think Hyderabad FC has their own problems now on and off the field. So let's see what is the mentality of the players and how they are going to perform. So, but I think relatively easy match for Odisha FC.
There's another aspect. Not only Ahmed Jahu, but Murtada Fall missing. And those two together, be it in Goa, be it at Mumbai City, now be it in Odisha, this is a class pair, and I don't see Roy Krishna, Diego Mauricio, Sai Goddard, being those kind of players. And your problem will be that Putia is also playing so well because he's playing next to Ahmed Jahu. It's a little similar to Apuya, so to say, that you're playing with a master in his position. We saw, Behmamer missing for Northeast and what effect it has on East Bengal, and how they really capitalized on it. So therefore, that's an interesting one. And again, if Ahmed Jahu is also, I think more important than the ISL is going to be, the question is he going to be ready next Monday
Basundhara
to play against Basundhara Kings and AFC Cup? I think that's the bigger question. I think they need him there because, without him, very difficult.
Absolutely. Tomorrow, guys, we've got Jamshedpur and Chennai. This is sort of interesting because again, Chennai picking up a few points here and there. They've impressed a little bit off late. Jamshedpur, three losses on the trot. Now, where do Jamshedpur go from here? Arnav,
They need a win. Simple as that.
really, yeah.
And the point is that the only thing, and I think that is what Cooper said in the post match after the last game, is we're not scoring. We're playing well, but we're not scoring, and I think that sums up their problem at the moment, that their strikers are not firing, because otherwise Jamshedpur should be high up the table. I've been positively surprised by their gameplay, but they've not been able to really get it across the way that they should and they need to.
Both teams, I think, similar story, Hiren, because uh, okay, Jamshedpur, yeah, they've been really unlucky. Like, sort of, some results have just not gone their way. Chennai and also sort of picking up now. Do you think both sides should have had more points at this point?
आई थिंक अगर आप चेन्नई की बात करें तो आई थिंक जिस तरह से उन्होंने मतलब सीजन का स्टार्ट किया था, आई थिंक कुछ प्लेयर उन्होंने मतलब पर्टिकुलरली अगर उन्होंने उनके दोनों सेंटर बैक देखे तो एट द एंड ऑफ द प्री सीजन उन्होंने साइन किए थे, तो उसको उतना ज्यादा टाइम में नहीं मिला था टीम के साथ सेलअप होने में, तो कुछ प्लेयर उनके लेट जुड़े थे, फिर आपका कोच भी थोड़ा सा उस तरह से आया था, तो आई थिंक उस सेंस में देखे तो मेरे हिसाब से तो उन्होंने अपनी जो रिदम है वो वापस की है। पिछले 2 मैच नो डाउट ड्रॉ करके आ रहे हैं, जिसमें से केरला ब्लास्टर वाला वो मैच अगर बेटर डिफेंडिंग करते तो निकाल भी सकते थे, लेकिन आई थिंक उनके लिए भी डेफिनेटली अगर आप कंपैरिजन अगर जमशेदपुर के साथ करेंगे तो दे आल्सो नीड अ विन, सिंपल सी बात वो है, एंड बोथ द टीम आर लुकिंग फॉर दैट विन, सो आई थिंक ओवन कोयल के ऊपर भी आई थिंक प्रेशर होगा एंड डेफिनेटली स्कोर कूपर के ऊपर भी होगा। मैं कंप्लीटली एग्री करता हूँ उन्ना सर से कि भाई जमशेदपुर एफसी प्लेइंग गुड फुटबॉल बट they are not grinding the result, and Chimachuku and all of that are not firing, and that's the biggest concern for him. So let's see how this match is going to span out.
Just going to take you guys to a little bit of international football. Carlos Queiroz sacked by Qatar, and Rodriguez is asking why are we not sacking Steve Hutch?
Yep, Steamach gets coaches sacked, right? I mean, that's left, right, and center. Coaches are being sacked because of Igor Steamach. Yeah, but anyway, it's yeah. Let's see what happens. But I think until the Asian Cup, nothing is going to change. But again, I'm really worried if and I've said this before the ISL that we will have players who will pick up injuries. I really hope that Sahal, who's been having a very, very good season at Mohun Bagan so far, Thapa as well as Glenn don't get injured, because that would just add to our potential problems. Yeah, so let's hope the best for the boys, because otherwise, Mr. Steamach, yeah, it's very difficult.
But sir, जो ईगो स्टीमिक ने आज कल जो एक इंटरव्यू दिया है उसमें बोला है कि चिक्सन, अनवर एंड आसिफ कुरिनान जो 3 हमारे क्रूशियल प्लेयर है वो अगर मिस कर रहे हैं देन इट्स अ बिग ब्लो फॉर अस, एंड उसकी जगह पे जो भी यंगस्टर आएगा उसको यहाँ पे मतलब रिस्पांसिबिलिटी लेनी पड़ेगी। तो अगर मान लीजिए कि उसमें ये 2 प्लेयर ऐड होते हैं, सहल अब्दुल समद एंड अनिरुद्ध थापा, देन आपकी मतलब बेसिकली मिडफील्ड से आपके जो तीनों फर्स्ट चॉइस मिडफील्डर थे सहल, थापा एंड चिक्सन, ये तीनों आउट हो जाएंगे। So what are the options for India now? Because
I would not say
and Apuya is there.
I would not say that because Suresh and Apuya were so good in the last 2 games that
नहीं
to
नहीं
me they are.
नहीं नहीं उससे पहले जब ये जिक्सन और ये जब क्या बोलते साफ एंड कॉन्टिनेंटल टाइप पे थापा, जिक्सन एंड सहल की मिडफील्ड हमें जनरली देखने को मिल रही थी। सो अब ये तीनों बाहर है, सो नाउ इट्स सुरेश वांगजाम एंड अपुया इज देयर। सो व्हाट आर द अदर ऑप्शन जो यहाँ पे ईगोस्टेमिक कंसीडर कर सकते हैं?
Brandon Fernandez, I think, in the creative midfield. I think Brandon is someone.
But he is also injury prone player. So
again, I'm just saying whoever is available, right? We'll have to see what are our options. So that's the point, right? So you'll have to play with those who are available. Putia could be an option. Isak Ralche could be an option, I feel, right? I mean, those two are. I'm liking them. I think Isak Ralche to me is someone as a winger potentially even ahead of Liston Colasso in the last few weeks. And Lord Bacon, no, I think Rohit Kumar has to play at BFC a better level of football. But again, if we don't have players, maybe Rohit Kumar does start. So we hope not, but who knows?
He doesn't get into the club.
Rahul might disagree with you, sir.
No, so the thing is with Rohit, I've said this before. There is something in him. It's just that sometimes he just too casual with stuff, and you see that intensity isn't there. And I mean, I don't know, man. He's not getting into the BFC team right now, so well, that's that. I don't
हर्ष
think you can get into the Indian
हर्ष
team.
हर्षवर्धन का जो कमेंट है वो बढ़िया है। उन्होंने बोला कि जो दोनों ही टीम के जो क्या बोलते हैं कि स्टेट्स है उन्होंने इंटैक्ट रखे हैं इस मैच में कि 66% मोहन बागान सेकंड हाफ में गोल स्कोर करती है एंड ओडिशा 77% सेकंड हाफ में कंसीड करती है।
I
तो
have
ये
a
दोनों
question
चीजें
for
आज
you
हो
guys.
चुकी
I have a question for you guys based on this stat. Do you think Odisha concedes those many number of goals in the second half because of the demands of the coach, because he wants to play attacking football, and most of the
yes
players
and
sort of
there is a one just one add to one state there is Odisha FC is the आज जो गोल मारा उसने फर्स्ट हाफ के उसके साथ ही वो यहाँ पे आईएसएल में इस सीजन सबसे ज्यादा फर्स्ट हाफ में गोल स्कोर करने वाले क्लब बन चुका है 8 या 9 गोल उन्होंने अभी तक फर्स्ट हाफ में मारे दैट्स द मोस्ट नंबर ऑफ गोल इन द फर्स्ट हाफ बाय अ क्लब।
do you think they concede a lot because they're sort of burnt out because of the intensity and they're trying to score goals?
But I would generalize it again. Yes, that is partially true. But again, Odisha again is not a team which is going to win 1-0. So it is very likely that an opponent will score 2 or 3 goals against them. We have the counter example that they were losing to Mazia away 2-0 and then won 3-2 in the second half. So therefore, that has also happened. So therefore, I feel that open game that Juan Fernando, I'm saying, that Sergio Oliveira likes to play, does hold the risk that you could concede 1 or 2 goals even towards the end
And
of the game.
also sir I think they play you can say highline much more than any other club I think जिस तरह से आज भी देखिए
And that is
कई बार
that is
हमने देखा
something that is something which I fear with Indian players is always difficult with the high line.
difficult
Because I
agree
feel that most of these Indian players in their younger days did not play the high line. So I feel that's a big
highline
problem.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, guys, predictions for tomorrow. Hiren, I'll come to you first. Jamshedpur, Chennai, who wins this? Jamshedpur at home.
I think it will be draw. I will go with Chennai FC. I think they will
Okay.
win now. 2-1.
Okay.
2-1 my prediction for Chennai FC.
2-1 Chennai. Noah?
I'll then say 1-1.
1-1. Okay. Nobody going for the home team. Decent crowd. Don't you think they'll get across?
They would have to give me something more to say 1-0 or 2-1, but I at the moment feel again Lord Beke does go with them, but I say 1-1. I think because I think Chennai will score, and Chennai showed in Kerala what they can play in a full stadium. So I think that should not be forgotten about Chennai. So and they got back against East Bengal as well in a game, So therefore I would say 1-1 is what I would suggest.
Harshvardhan saying
Peop-
3-all draw.
people are mentioning some other names in midfield. Falguni Singh is there. Danish Farooq. विपिन मोहन दूसरा कौन मेंशन कर रहा है और कौन से नेम है?
But again, I felt against Goa, Danish Farooq and Vipin were both exposed. And if you're exposed against FC Goa, that means, Australia and Uzbekistan is a level 2 higher than Goa, right? So those are realities. We'll have to see, Again, doesn't play much at Mumbai, but maybe even a Vineet Rai might become an option for the national team as well in their defensive position.
I've seen Danish closely, and I'm not too sure he's at the levels to play for India yet.
And he's not a defensive midfielder. Also, he's actually more of an attacking midfielder. So
exactly.
That's another thing. Vibin, I think is someone. I think I would give another year or two. I think Vibin Monan could become a national team player. But he needs that experience, and I would also say that I hope that
Anurag Bhai is mentioning rolling Borges. I will agree.
I agree. I was actually a fan of Rowland. I like what he brought. Always.
I'm not a fan of Rowland, and I also still have a concern. He is a too slow player against Australia. That will be the concern, but I think जिस फॉर्म में अभी है I think और ऑप्शन भी हमारे पास ऐसा कोई खास है नहीं so I think
but what is his injury
से तो अच्छा ही है कि हम रोलिंग
what injury again we're talking about injured players what injury did Rowland pick up yesterday
हाँ वो भी इंजर्ड है वो तो सबसे बड़ा तो देन
I am
रेनियल
still
फर्नांडिस
talking. No, I'm still talking about the 19-year-old Shayan Shorkar. I think he should be given a chance.
Uh,
Young talent,
साहिल
unknown,
तवरा बोल रहा है
untested.
सुरेश भाई
Before I go to Sahil Tavora, I would go to Hitesh Sharma. If we're going that route, and Mohammad Yassin is also there, na? That's also an attacking
ये
option potentially.
ऑप्शन ये अभी अभी किसी ने मेंशन किया था आई वुड गो विथ मोहम्मद यासिर मतलब जिस तरह से उन्होंने लास्ट मैच भले ही हैदराबाद हार गई लेकिन जिस तरह की वो फुटबॉल खेल रहे हैं मतलब ही लुक्स प्रॉमिसिंग
And he has international experience.
एक्सपीरियंस
Again, we see Lord Beke mentioning Jay Gupta. Again, Jay Gupta is something which I would like to see, depending on what happens to Akash Mishra and Shubhashish Bose. As long as those
सुभाष
two,
बोस
again, for the Asian Cup, as long as both are fit, both are going.
yeah, yeah. I
So,
think
so that's something. Yeah.
a lot of the names that we're mentioning as well need to sort of factor in that these guys haven't played enough international football, and you can't just throw them into an Asian championships.
नहीं
match.
नहीं राहुल थ्रो देम नहीं तो आपके पास ऑप्शन भी क्या है थ्रो देम ही करना पड़ेगा अब
नहीं नहीं
आपके जब
अभी
मेन प्लेयर जा रहे हैं तो दिस इज द ओनली
yeah
ऑप्शन आपको रिस्क लेना पड़ेगा एक आध
if you
प्लेयर
have
आपको ऐसा रिस्क लेके जाना ही पड़ेगा सिंपल एज दैट
true but if you have Apuya and Suresh who are
नहीं
sort
वो
of
दोनों तो है लेकिन नहीं नहीं यू नीड ए 5-6 मिडफील्डर
no true that's
आपके
that's
पास
true.
Yeah.
I would still say Raul and like these kind of guys who played international football and
Raul
experience.
Borges, Lenny Fernandez, I would rather go with one of those and push Apuya up in a more creative position. I think that would be
Oh,
my option.
potentially, yeah.
I would not bring anyone new into the team at the moment, with no experience at that level. I think
Exactly.
that international experience is needed. That's why I also said Vinith Rai, because Vinith Rai has had to play Champions League a few games. So therefore, these kind of guys who understand, have worn an India shirt, I think that's going to be on, and that's the point. Lord Baker on form, Jay Gupta, Bose, even Akash Mishra. I'm not talking about form. Form is not something which a coach will look into at this stage. We are about a little over a month, 5 weeks away from our first game. The coach will look at players with the experience, and Jay Gupta, no international experience. He's not even played 6 months of ISL. I don't see him getting into the squad.
Yeah, yeah.
एक चीज सर हमने यहाँ पे डिस्कस नहीं की है वो है कि अभी भी यहाँ पे प्लेयर को जो भी प्लेयर फिट है किसी भी क्लब में पर्टिकुलरली अपुया या फिर उसकी बात करें तो उसको अभी भी काफी ज्यादा मैचेस आईएसएल के खेलने हैं बिफोर दी गोइंग इनटू द एशियन कप क्योंकि मुंबई का जो कैलेंडर है आईएसएल में उन्होंने कम मैचेस खेले हैं तो दे बैक टू बैक मैचेस सो ये भी चीज है कि अभी भी ऐसा नहीं कि इंजरी लिस्ट खत्म हो चुका है देयर लेट होप सो ऐसा ना हो लेकिन इसमें कोई जो हमारी नेशनल लीग का प्लेयर है वो अभी भी ऐड हो सकता है क्योंकि देयर आर आई
No,
थिंक
no.
एवरी क्लब इज
Listen,
प्लेइंग 2-3 आईएसएल
100%. And
मैचेस
Hoga, in a normal case, one or two names will be added to that list. And that is going to be the biggest problem for the coach. That our players, first of all, are not used to playing that many matches. Some
मैचेस
national team
एग्जैक्टली
players did not have a break in the summer. I know that one player to me said very clearly, national team player said, "Bhai, I couldn't even go for a 7-week holiday, a 7-day holiday. I just went 5 days with my wife, and all that stuff." So that's why.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
Thapa
वो
Udanta did not play in 2011. They were not even close to. The only two players who were in 2011 in the Asian Cup were Sunil Chhetri and number 3 goalkeeper Gurpreet Singh Sandhu.
I think the hope is that guys that these players do. We have as many first team players as possible. The takeaway sort of today I'm getting is that we've got options, a few options, luckily, because we've got Apuya and Suresh to cover in that midfield. We just hope that hopefully, there are no more injuries to add to this list and make matters worse for EOS
Yeah.
the match. We hope that as many
but
players.
but, but राहुल the factor is कि आपके पास नो डाउट सुरेश एंड अपुया है लेकिन these are the starting 11 players लेकिन what about the substitution क्योंकि
Completely,
आप
yeah.
पूरे 90 मिनट तो नहीं खिला पाओगे एंड हमने देखा है कि we can see that
Hiren, my worry is if somewhere else it's a heart of defense.
Yeah.
हाँ
One more.
Defensive midfield, so at least we have these two, and hopefully these two
तो
are fit.
हाँ
But what happens to defense? I mean, Rahul Beke, TK, played 2 good matches. Do we stick with Rahul Beke? That's the question, right? Is Rahul Beke ready to play 3 matches in the Asian Cup in that position as a left centre back?
बट सर एक चीज उसमें ये भी है कि एशियन कप में आपको स्क्वाड भी रोटेट करना पड़ेगा. यू हैव 3 बैक टू बैक मैचेस एंड यू कांट
But you have
कैन गो विद द सेम स्टार्टिंग.
5 days gap. So that gives you the advantage of a long Asian Cup. Gives you 5 days of gap. So that way it's okay. But again, my concern is defense and the strikers, and the second is who are our backups.
Yeah.
And Lord Baker saying Lord Kotal redemption loading. I would take Pritham Kotal as a centre back. Honestly, he's been good. You play him as a right back, he's been not good for Blasters. But as a centre back, with him, the Blasters played their best matches. Let's be honest, right? Rahul Beke got a lot of stick, right? A lot of stick. But he's actually done well for club and country in the last few weeks. Right?
Yeah. There's nothing to try out new players. We have no friendlies. We can't sort of throw them in, try this, try that. Got to play your settled squad, I guess. If
I think एक चीज यहाँ पे अच्छी नहीं बोलूंगा. जो मतलब ईगोस टीम जो चाहते थे वो हो चुकी है कि he wanted this Asian Cup as a friendlies to prepare for the वर्ल्ड कप क्वालिफायर्स. तो अब जिस तरह के हमारी सिचुएशन बनी है, आई थिंक नाउ इट्स अ गुड टाइम टू बी यू कैन से कि ट्राई आउट प्लेयर्स इन द एशियन कप.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yep. Let's hope for the best, guys.
But that would be a foolish thing. It's a joke, but if this is the thing, you can say कि thought process or mentality, then that would be a foolish thing.
No,
you have to play. You have to play your best.
Exactly. Like this is like we've said it multiple times. This is like the World Cup for us. You have to play your best team. Try and get a result.
My point is at the national team, most matches, be it a World Cup qualifier, be it an Asian Cup qualifier, be it an Asian Cup, be it even a SAF Cup, that to me is not a trial area. Your trial competition should have been
Merdeka Cup, Kings
Cup, Tri-Nation, Intercontinental Cup. That should have been your trial and error. And I seriously hope that the guys who picked up injuries today and yesterday, they're all fit.
Yeah, guys. Anurag, interesting question. I mean, for me, he would make the 11. What do you think? If he is fit, does he make the 11? Or does Timash go with the flat?
I think it's too Anurag. I feel at the moment it's too early to have that discussion.
Okay.
Let's have that discussion around the 9th or 10th of January, where we will be very well. Hopefully, we'll be clearer of who is ready to play or not to play. I think that's at that stage we'll see who is there, who's not there, because at the moment, it's just too early to have that discussion. Let's have the discussion in a month's time.
Yeah. And everybody who's asking about
उस टाइम पे सर नहीं उस टाइम, सॉरी टू इंटरप्ट राहुल, लेकिन उस टाइम पे भी एक सस्पेंस सर ये बना होगा कि जो भी प्लेयर इंजरी से वापस आया होगा, क्या उसको डायरेक्ट स्टार्टिंग 11 में डालेगा या फिर एज ए बेंच से लाएगा.
That's true.
But that Hiren, that the question is the injured players, will he take them to Qatar or not?
Yes, exactly. नहीं मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ कि 9th और 10th के पास हमारे पास स्क्वाड होगा.
That's why we'll know the squad. So let's get the squad first, and then we can think about how what has happened. And again, we don't know if the injuries are serious to Sahal, to Thapa, to Glenn, to Raul and Borges yesterday. They all didn't look good. They all looked like Raul and Borges looked like something ligament. I hope I hope it's not an ACL. Sahal didn't look good. Glenn Martins didn't look good, and also Thapa, how he fell, didn't look good. So let's see.
लॉर्ड बेकर साहब, अभी तो और भी ज्यादा जरूरी हो गया है कि हमें फ्रेंडली खेलना चाहिए, क्योंकि काफी सारे आपके नए प्लेयर आ रहे हैं. तो एटलीस्ट बिफोर गोइंग टू द ऑस्ट्रेलिया गेम आप एटलीस्ट वो एक मैच साथ में खेल ले, तो वो उसको थोड़ा सा आइडिया मिलेगा. तो अभी तो और भी ज्यादा जरूरी हो गया है कि आपको फ्रेंडली खेलना चाहिए.
Yeah.
exactly. I think, yeah, but what do you do? Injuries are part of football, and the show must go on, guys. Um,
देखिए ये तो राहुल मतलब ये अभी ऐसा नहीं है कि ये इस साल ही हुआ है. दिस विल हैपन नेक्स्ट ईयर ऑल्सो. चाहे
exactly,
आपका
it's
कोई
always
कोई
Yeah,
टूर्नामेंट हो,
but
वर्ल्ड कप. और ये
it's
मार्च में
bound
जब
to
वर्ल्ड कप
happen.
क्वालिफायर से. हाँ, ये तो होगा ही होगा. अब ये पूरे वर्ल्ड फुटबॉल में चल रहा है, ये थोड़ी हमारा एक का प्रॉब्लम है.
So
अब
so
देखिए
therefore
जो
you have
भी
to always have a plan B and a plan C, na?
प्लान बी.
That's why,
हाँ
and
हाँ
you don't have a plan B. You don't forgetting talking about a plan C. And also
सी
Stimat saying
हाँ
he
हाँ.
didn't want to play friendlies. No, it's he's now saying, why is he saying it? Because the AFF was not able to get anyone to want to play to us. The AFF approached a lot of nations. No one wants to play us. That's also another reason, right?
ओके.
So it's like how you sell a story, right? It's like so therefore um, we don't want to play, but no one wants to play us. You know,
पर
so
मुझे तो सर नहीं नहीं, उसने जो कल बोला मेरे को तो ऐसा लगा कि एएफए पर उसमें डिस्कशन हुआ होगा और इगोर ने बोला होगा कि भाई 13 दिन प्रैक्टिस दे दो, मेरे को फ्रेंडली नहीं चाहिए.
but again, you could have at least said, listen, let me at least play 1 or 2 matches, right? So at least I would have had something to play for. But you didn't want to. But the point is, at the moment, is where are we? We're nowhere. And that's the,
बट
we're not
व्हाई
here, we're
एनी
not there.
व्हाई एनी कंट्री डिडंट वांट टू प्ले विद अस? मतलब हमारे से लोअर रैंक कंट्री भी नहीं खेलना चाहती क्या?
What's the value of playing India?
अच्छा है कि आपको मतलब अब देखिए काफी सारा ये लेबर सऊदी अरेबिया लेबनान के सामने खेल रही है, इंडोनेशिया के सामने, इंडोनेशिया लीबिया के सामने, तो ऐसा मतलब लोअर रैंक कंट्री तो खेल ही सकती थी इंडिया के साथ.
It's also you're playing countries to try out something with because you're playing similar teams or from the same region, right? There is no other South Asian team. That's also a reality, na? If a Bangladesh or a Pakistan or a Nepal were playing in in the Asian Cup from the South region, and then let's say Saudi is playing Nepal, maybe Saudi would have said, "Okay, let me try out things," you know, um, in that region. So therefore, it's they don't want again. We are not a number one opponent for teams to potentially play against.
yeah,
That's the reality. If we like it or not, that's the reality.
I think, guys, this is a perfect comment to sort of leave everyone with. Doesn't matter who plays. Of course, injuries are a part of football, and there will be new players coming in, filling in for players who aren't fit. And if you're playing for the team, just go with a plan and try to execute it to the best of your abilities. That's all that we can ask for as Indian fans and hope for. I mean, yeah. Well, that being said, thanks guys. Thanks Anwar. Thanks Hiren. Thank you everybody in the chat for joining today. And yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. We've got another ISL clash, Jamshedpur Chennai. And please like and share these videos. Subscribe to the channels Sports Khabri, Curious Harry, Arun Foot, and Indian Food and Football. Hopefully, Shan will be joining us tomorrow. I keep saying this, but let's hope he does tomorrow. Yeah, good night, guys.
Good night.
If he didn't join tomorrow, then we will not say anymore. मतलब जो आप बोल रहे हो कि कल जोड़ेंगे कल जोड़ेंगे, वो बंद कर देंगे.
True. Yeah.
And also Harsha Bardhan asking if we're going to have something on the IWL. Yes, actually Akshata I and a guest spoke about it. That video will either go online tomorrow or day after morning. So just watch out for that video. We did have a half an hour sort of preview on the IWL before it starts. The Indian Women's League starts on Friday.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
Good night, guys.